I have always been here. I have always been here.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Ambassador Way. And sorry about the delay. I just got done fighting off this massive hell beast down in our basement, and it took everything I had just to get that sucker sent back through the portal of hell that it came through. So I apologize for the delay. Glad you are all here this evening. And yeah, anyway, as the thumbnail indicated, tonight we are talking all things Ghostbusters, and I want to say to everybody that's tuned in tonight, or those of you that'll catch us on the replay, I hope you enjoyed the stream this evening. Hope you have a good time, and if this is your first time to the Ambassador Wing, welcome. I am glad that you are here. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and let's begin. And to the chat, Planet Q's Queen, Q, it is a pleasure to see you and glad that you are tuned in this evening. And yeah, you said you would be here. And well, as the guy said at the intro, I have always been here. And with that all being said, we are going to kick this thing off the right way. We're going to be talking Ghostbusters tonight. We're going to be talking about the original films. We're going to be talking about the trailer that dropped this week and just talking anything and everything regarding the Ghostbusters franchise. Well, minus one movie. I think you all know which movie I'm talking about. But with no more delay and no further ado, I want to bring on my first guest of the evening. He is a regular here on the Ambassador Wing. You know him. You love him. He's quirky. He's goofy. And he is a good egg. Scrambled, but eggs are generally good scrambled. The one and the only, Mr. Zach Leary.
Well,
Zach,
thank you very much. Good to be here.
You.
Yeah, good to be here.
So, Zach, how have you been doing, my man? It's been a little bit since we talked last, and it's been a week. But how you doing?
Yeah, busy, man.
Breach.
Busy. I've been working my ass off best I can. So
yeah, same here. So don't feel bad. And also to the chat, LDG of Geeks Enjoy IT and Erotica LDG. Good to see him, my bud. And for those of you that are going to be coming in as the stream goes along, if you want to join the fun, links up at the top. You know what to do. So, Zach, I'm hoping you. I'm assuming that you have watched the trailer and that you have seen the original Ghostbusters films.
I have seen the. No, I have not seen the trailer, but I've seen the Ghostbusters original films. Yes, and I have seen 2016.
You have my pity.
You never saw it?
No interest.
I can't blame you for that.
Absolutely no interest.
Well, let me ask you this. Here's a weird one. Why do you think the second Ghostbusters gets so much shit? Because I thought it was awesome.
To be honest, I don't know. I really don't know, because I enjoyed the second one just as much as the first. I thought the first one was just as. I thought the second one was just as funny as the first, and well, I got both of them on Blu-ray. I actually got this secondhand. It was at a secondhand movie store. Got it for $7.99. So, anyway, but yeah, honestly, I don't know exactly why the second movie gets so much crap, but we're gonna discuss it tonight. And I don't want to risk a copyright, so unfortunately, I'm not going to do what I did last week and jump back and forth
I
between.
can mute myself and go check it out.
If you want to, yeah, and I can
Okay.
fill some time. It's only like
Yeah.
2 minutes long, so if you want to go check
Okay,
out the trailer,
I'll be
Zach,
right
and then
back. I'll
I'll
check it
fill in
out.
some time while you do that. So by all means, go do your thing. Go check it out, bud. So, but anyways, folks, while Zach's doing that, I do want to give you all a little bit of a update on things. Um, on the personal front, for those of you that have been following, who've tuned in, who know what's going on with the Ambassadoro family, we had a bit of a setback with Mother Ambassador yesterday. She kind of had a rough first night back home. She's okay. She's in good condition. Nothing's out of whack or out of kilter or anything. But we unfortunately had to readmit her to the hospital. She's fighting a UTI, which for those of you who know what that is, I won't explain it. But she called the ambulance last night, and she got readmitted to the hospital. I went and saw her today. I went and took care of a few things on her for her, and talked with her for a little bit, and she's doing okay now. They're talking about potentially sending her back to physical rehab to get her just a little bit stronger so that she can go back home and not have to have a bunch of aides coming in to help her with things. But aside from that, I'm doing well. Bam Ambassador, she's getting better by the day. And as always, I want to thank you all for your support, for your prayers, for your thoughts, all of those things. As always, I deeply appreciate it. And it means a lot and everything that you all are here, not just to hear me talk about the things we love, talk about the same pop culture, but that we are, to one degree or another, a family. And as the intro says, here we are all geeks. Here we are all equal. Here we celebrate pop culture. We critique it honestly, and we enjoy it. We don't just give hollow, empty rhetoric that means absolutely nothing. We talk about stuff that makes us happy. And I, for one, when the trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife dropped the other day, I watched it, and from the moment it went, I had a big smile on my face. And I don't know if you all recall, but I did do a reaction to the first trailer that dropped. It was like a teaser trailer. It was about a year or so ago, or about 2 years ago, somewhere along in there. And I had a sneaking suspicion that this was going to involve Egon's family, and well, my guess was right. This is not me to say I told you so, but I was right. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to rub it in anybody's face. I just happened to play the averages, and in this case, the averages were right. We're going to be dealing with Egon's family. So, and I'm happy to see that because it harkens back to the original movies, and it was honestly, for me, I love the fact that they're paying homage to the original films. And holy cow, a name or a pair of names I have not seen in a very long time. Two good friends, Nick and Lex. And folks, this couple, this is one of the coolest and awesomest couples I have met on YouTube, and they have a great channel. And I highly recommend you go check out their channel. It's called simply Nick and Lex, and they do a lot of music reactions. They listen to music and they react to it. And I have had the opportunity to watch a lot of their videos. I have had the chance to actually stream with this couple, and they are an absolute delight. They're one of the real bright spots here on YouTube, and I will bring up their comment. I love Ghostbusters too. The actor who played Vigo was a good friend of my dad's, and I had the luck to hang out with him many times. Nick and Lex, that's awesome. Hey, Nick and Lex, or Nick or Lex, if y'all are free tonight and you want to join me, I've put the link up at the stream link up at the top and everything. And I would love if you're free to hear your thoughts on the trailer, hear your thoughts on the older movies. But if you're here just to hang out in the chat, It is great to see you again. It has been a very long time, and I hope you all are doing well. So, and I'll bring up Planet Q's comment. I'm glad they're including Egon Spengler. Yeah, Egon's family, even though the actor who played him, Harold Ramis, is no longer with us. They're including the family of the one and only Dr. Egon Spengler. And we're going to be talking about him and his exploits tonight as well. So, Zach, have you had a chance to finish the trailer?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's obviously Dan Aykroyd at the end of it.
Yes, it is. It is Ray Stantz. So, now that it's fresh in your head, your thoughts on it. What do you think?
It's hard to say, man. It's hard to judge what we're gonna get. It doesn't look bad, but I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, I don't think I have enough from the trailer to really decide what I think of it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it is. Honestly, it's just a 2.5 minute trailer. I get what you're saying. I honestly, I'm looking forward to the movie. I've been looking forward to it ever since we got the teaser back a year or so ago, and it's nice to see them breathe new life into a franchise that hasn't seen the light of day, really seen the light of day since the 1980s. But yeah, I will be interested to see how they expand upon the lore from the original movies. I'll definitely be interested to see what Egon's grandkids can get themselves into, because if they're anything like their granddad, they'll be causing just as much trouble as he did. Now, I will say I will be interested to see what part Paul Rudd's character plays in this, because if you notice, Paul Rudd is going to be starring in this as well. So
he looks like a stepdad. Is that his character? Is he kind of like the stepdad or something?
Possibly, maybe, yeah. Did you happen to notice that Janine makes an appearance in the trailer? Annie Potts' character who played the secretary?
No, I did not.
Yep, she makes. I think she has one little clip in the trailer where she's talking to. I think it's Egon's daughter or something. Maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, she was in there as well. And I honestly, I'm really excited. I'm really hyped for Ghostbusters Afterlife. And now yeah, go ahead, Zach.
No, I was I was coughing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you noticed this on my thumbnail or not, but you happen to notice that there was a similarity between the original poster and the Afterlife poster, particularly in the with that green mist hovering above in the sky.
The poster.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, for either one?
No, for the new one.
Oh, for the new one? Okay, hang on.
Let me check it out.
No, give me a minute. I'll pull it up for you. Let's see. Ghostbusters. Here we go. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Here we go. Let's see. Hang on. Images. Hang on. Okay, here we go. If I can get it to play while open. Here we go. Come on. A little more. All right, so give me straight to IMDb, but that's okay. All right, hang on 1 second. All right, share screen, and Chrome tab, and here we go. And sure. All right. I don't know if you can make it out, but over here,
very reminiscent. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very reminiscent. I mean, I know this had a lot of Easter eggs from the original movie. I'm happy to see that they've got Ecto 1 back and it's been modified and all. And I'm absolutely, like I said, I'm ready for this movie. I'm happy to see that they've gotten the surviving cast back, because I imagine that Ernie Hudson's character Winston Zedmore will be making an appearance. We know that Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd will definitely be there, and of course,
Bill is confirmed too.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's
Dang it, I
cool.
just had a.
I like Bill
Hang
a
on.
lot. I've always liked Bill
Oh,
Murray.
I don't think there's anybody out there who doesn't like Bill Murray unless you just don't have a funny bone like at all.
Well, the best thing
So,
about, did you see that movie about him called, I think it was like the Bill Murray Stories on Netflix? Have you seen that?
I cannot say honestly that I have, but
You've got to check it out. Bill Murray will just show up random places. He showed up at a college like frat party and did people's dishes in the kitchen and left.
you're kidding me.
I swear to God, there's pictures of him. He'll show up and crash people's weddings.
Let's see if I can pull up the IMDb for it. Hold on one second. There we go. Ghostbusters Afterlife IMDb. Here we go. All right, come on, work with me here. I'll share the screen on this if I can get everything to load. So that could be just a pain in the neck. Come on, work with me here. Okay. Oh, all right. Here we go. Oh, sorry, everybody. Computer's being a bit slow tonight. Kind of like me. Oh, wait a minute. Carrie Coon's in this? I remember her, I think. Yeah, okay. Just a second. I'll bring up the IMDb for this. 2 seconds. And Planet Q says, yes, he is confirmed for the movie. And yes, the Marshmallow Man, the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah, I saw those too. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm about to die here. I was about ready to have a geekgasm, quite literally. But yeah, here's the cast. You've got Finn Wolfhard as Trevor. You've got McKenna Grace as Phoebe. You've got Carrie Coon. Who the heck? I know that name. Come on, stubborn cuss. I could have swore I saw her in something else, but I can't remember for the life of me what. Let's see. Let's see. She was in Gone Girl. Oh, she was in Avengers Infinity War, The Leftovers, and The Post.
It's got to be Avengers.
Yeah, it's got to be that because I don't even know what she played. Oh, she played Proxima Midnight. She played one of Thanos's goons. That's what she played.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she
That's
played
right.
the
She
one
was
with
hidden though, behind a bunch of makeup.
yeah and CGI. Yeah, so in this case, you'll be able to see her in all her glory. Well, whatever the case. Right, come on. Come on, you slow pokey thing. Technology is great until it doesn't want to work. The old adage. And according to IMDb, it's supposed to come out November 11th of this year. So,
Oh, what is?
this Ghostbusters
Oh, the
Afterlife.
Ghostbusters. Gotcha.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, come on. No, I don't care about Suicide Squad. At least not right now. Okay. And apparently, Sigourney Weaver is going to be back as Dana Barrett. Bill Murray as Peter Venkman. Dan Aykroyd as Raymond Stantz. Ernie Hudson as Winston Zedmore. You got Logan Kim as Podcast, whoever that is. You've got Annie Potts as Janine Melnitz. Let's see. Yep.
What a shitty character name, Podcast.
It might turn out to be interesting. Let's see. Bokeem Woodbin as Sheriff Mondego, excuse me. And Paul Rudd as Mr. Goobersman. I think he's supposed to be a teacher, actually.
I can't believe they listed Paul Rudd as other cast.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised with that as well, but he may not. Well, he may have a decent role, but he may not have a huge role. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got to have a bigger role than, Sheriff Domingo up there.
Yeah, I know, but hey.
Maybe they kind of wanted to keep him a surprise. I don't think he was in the original trailer, was he?
Actually, he was.
Oh, was he?
I
remember they did a 1 minute trailer right before
Yeah,
this.
they did a teaser. They did a teaser about a year and a half ago or so.
And Paul Rudd was
But
in that?
in the trailer, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
his character
okay.
was in it. He had like I don't remember how much he was in that trailer, but I do remember him being in it because everybody was like, "Holy crap, Paul Rudd's going to be in this!" And I was like, "I'm all for it," because I like Paul Rudd. I think he's a good actor. He sends some good stuff that I have really enjoyed. I mean, obviously, Ant-Man. I liked him in Ant-Man. I liked him in.
Anchorman. You ever
I have
see
never seen.
Anchorman?
I have never seen Anchorman. I've seen clips, but I've never seen Anchorman.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Anchorman's pretty good.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. But yeah, this has got a pretty decent cast. I'm not gonna.
Well, are you a little bit concerned about? Well, first of all, have you seen the show Stranger Things?
I have seen a few episodes of it. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Is
know of the
this not?
connection back to.
Is
I
this
know
not
the connection.
reminiscent of Stranger Things a little bit? I mean, you've got the same main actor, you've got the kids, and you've got that retro quality to it.
No, not particularly. No, that doesn't bother me. That's not a big issue in terms of
No, it's
what I
just
think
kind of
this movie.
similar.
Yeah, it does bear a few similarities, but that, like I said, that's not a big problem, or it's not a concern. Let's just put it that
Well,
way.
it's. I think it's a maybe a better idea going this route than seeing Bill and Dan and Ernie as a bunch of old guys running around chasing ghosts. So
Yes, I like the idea that you're dealing with Egon's family, the grandkids. I will say this: I like the idea that the one grandson is a mechanic and the other, the granddaughter, is kind of a sciencey nerd. I like that. I like that paradigm for Egon's kids or grandkids, because you would think Egon Spengler's kids, they're going to be smart and they're going to be
right.
mechanically inclined. So that part didn't bother me. Of course, I know there are going to be certain corners of YouTube and the internet who are going to just screech and holler and yell and act like a bunch of idiots. But
I want to see the original gang involved in a significant way to some degree.
Yeah.
Whether that be a plot way or, it doesn't have to be necessarily an action scene, but you could kind of see them rolling up at the time of need, which would be kind of a cool scene.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, considering that Ivan Reitman's son, is directing this thing, and I think he helped write it, he has a good grasp of this world that his dad and Murray, or not so much Murray, but Aykroyd helped create. I think
Aykroyd's crazy into this stuff, man.
Yeah, and I can respect that. And I'll bring up Planet Q's comment here. Something tells me that they'll be strapping up again to help the kids. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I mean, let's be honest. Being a Ghostbuster, it doesn't require you to do a lot of actiony things. You pull out a proton pack, you strap it on your back, you get the accelerator put in your hand, and you shoot at ghosts.
Could be badass, dude. It could be badass.
Oh,
I mean, think about the shot of them rolling up and getting out, and with that hero shot of them standing together.
Oh yeah,
that could be awesome, man. That could be really awesome.
That's something I'm definitely looking forward to. I
got to tell you this, just because now that I know Bill is going to be in it, I'm pretty excited. I mean, I love Bill Murray. I thought the original crew was just phenomenal. I mean, they really had lightning in a bottle with the original Ghostbusters. It was just the right time. It was the right type of film. Just incredible. And I don't think you could replicate what they did with that film at that time. But I got to tell you, so I'm super excited. I want to see the crossover. I want to see them get involved. I want to see them all on screen at the same time. And I think we're probably heading in that direction.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you this. I want to contrast this to, did you know that Bill Murray appeared in Ghostbusters 2016?
I did. He was a cabbie or something. He was a cab driver or something, I think.
Bill Murray shows up as a scientist, and he's got a top hat on, not a fedora, and a trench coat, and he sits down in a chair and says some dumbass lines that I think he didn't even really read a script. I would assume didn't want to be there. He says a couple of things, and he looks into the device. What is the device that? No. The one that you store the ghost in.
Oh, the trap.
Is that what it's called? Just the trap?
Well, I think there's some sciencey name for it, but it's essentially a trap. They just call it the trap. Get the trap
Bill
out.
Murray. They give that to Bill Murray. They're like, we have a ghost in here, and he opens it up, and the ghost comes out. Bill Murray screams, and it throws him out the window. That's his whole part in the movie. Can you believe that?
That makes me very sad. Yeah, I heard about the fallout from Answer the Call, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a call I want to answer. I'm just. I saw the reviews, I saw clips of it, and I'm just like, I even saw the trailer, and my reaction to that trailer compared to this one was just complete utter indifference. I watched that, I was like, no. Just no. But compare that to my reaction when I watched the Afterlife trailer, this one that dropped this week. I was like, yes, give me more. Yes, I want this. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Boy, are you surprised I saw the other one? The 2016. I saw the whole thing. I think I saw it. Again, this is even worse. I think I saw it at the theater. I think I paid for it.
I just have one question. How stoned or drunk were you?
I can't remember.
That answers my question. Very.
No, I can't remember. I remember, just like halfway through, you just kind of check out in a movie like that.
Mm-hmm. And
I had a buddy of mine get up and go to the bathroom. I thought he was never coming back. He was gone for like 20 minutes. He finally comes back. He's like, Jesus Christ, it's still on.
Yeah. And just real quick, I want to bring on a longtime friend, have not seen in a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Nick of Nick and Lex.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Nick, good to see you, man. It has been a minute, dude.
It's been a while, yeah.
Hey, I've been checking out you and the missus' stuff. Really been enjoying it.
I know.
Hey, congratulations on all your success on your channel.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really happy to see y'all doing very well. So
yes, we've been like hashing out videos like crazy. I mean, between work and everything. So
I get it.
It's tough. Yeah. But yeah, I was just so excited to see your stream, Ghostbusters, and I brought all my, I'm a big fan.
Right here, I got the same. I think I have. Hey, yeah, I think I have the same set that you do. Yep.
Right. This is like the carton set. I don't know. It comes with a code and everything, and
mine.
I love it because it has 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, mine does too. Yeah.
Yes. Yay. I just love Ghostbusters, and of course. Have you ever played this?
I have not, but I have heard it is very
good. It's because it has the original cast and the voice actors, and so I just I wanted to put on my Ghostbuster shirt. I couldn't find it, so I put on this one because Zach was talking about Stranger Things. So I was like, maybe it goes.
Do you think it's similar, Nick? It's kind of similar, right?
Zach, I haven't seen the trailer yet because I don't know if I want to spoil it, but I guess I'll have to watch it. Well, I saw bits and pieces of it. I saw Bill Murray react to the Marshmallow Man, and that scene like a little, So
well, we're not going to just focus on the trailer tonight. Tonight we're talking. We're going to be talking about the movies too. So we can transition from the trailer. We can jump right into the original films and everything, because that's going to be I wanted to talk about the trailer a little bit, and we can come back to it as is pertinent and everything. But guys, 1984 and 1989, we got a pair of really iconic cult classic comedy / fantasy / horror films with Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Now, I was not old enough at the time to go see. Well, I was old enough, but I think it was rated. I forget. I think it was rated PG-13. So I was like 7 or so at the time when that came out. So I didn't get a chance to see it, but I got to see it on TV, and I got to see it on home video when we had access to that. And it has been a constant favorite pair of movies for me growing up. And tonight, I want to talk about their influences, talk about our favorite scenes, talk about favorite lines, just about their impact upon the pop culture landscape and their impact upon our lives. So, guys, I'm gonna yield the floor. Zach and Nick, the floor is yours.
Well, Zach, you want to start off with your exposure to Ghostbusters? Well, I guess just like you, I didn't get to see them in the theater. I think I saw the second one in the theater. How old was I? I think I must have been like 6 or 7, something like that. And was it? I have like some kind of like a warm memory about it, So I didn't know if I watched it in the theater, if it was at home. But yeah, the first one though, I definitely watched that one on VHS, and it was just like, oh my God, this is like, Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Labyrinth, the Dark Crystal. Those were my go-to. And those were the movies we had, at home, and I would just watch them on repeat, like wear out the tape. And
yeah, back in those days, tapes were relatively cheap, so you could go back and you could go buy a new copy if you needed to.
So. And even if I would see it on TV, I would just re-record it, just have a new copy, on TV. Yeah. And but yeah, and I don't know if in Germany though. How in Germany there's a lot of cutting, some scenes are too scary, or too violent.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what if there was any cutting at that, like, that movie, and that was released in Germany. Of course, I did rewatch them here in the States, and I love it. I mean, everything about both of them is just perfection. I mean, the comedy's right, the effects are amazing, and the acting, just everybody's doing like a perfect job.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And it was it Harold Ramis that passed away? Harold Ramis, right?
Yes, it was Harold Ramis who played Egon, who passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I'm glad that the other guys were willing to come back for this film. Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, and obviously Bill Murray. And I will say this: the chemistry between the four of them was just it was incredible, because you very rarely come across a film that can be a horror film essentially, but also be a comedy. And something else, I forget who exactly said it, but this movie is very much 80s-esque. It's about 4 guys going into business for themselves. It kind of has that whole entrepreneurial vibe to it. It's like you got 4 professors who are in university that get their grant money runs out, and actually they get kicked off campus on top of that. And they were like, well, why don't we just go into business for ourselves instead of working for a bunch of stuffy suits in a university? I'm paraphrasing, of course. Yeah. And I love the interplay between Egon and Raymond and Venkman, Peter Venkman. Yeah. And he's like, I can't believe you've made me take a second. And Venkman was like, everybody has a second mortgage on their house. He's like, that was my parents' house. I grew up there. Yes. And Egon's spouting some financial percentage babble. And it's just like, Egon could make the reading of the phone book sound interesting.
I know,
And how these 3 characters were written. You've got Egon, who is the pure scientist. You've got Stantz, who also is kind of a pure scientist. But you've got Venkman.
He's
who's
more like
kind of
the
he's kind
like
of sleazy. He's kind of a shyster. He's kind
I
of not
know.
really on the. I mean, he's a decent guy. He's not a bad guy per se,
Right.
but the interplay between those three different personalities was actually really interesting. The other paradigm I would compare them to, or dynamic rather, I would compare them to, would be, and some people may groan at this, but this is how I kind of see it, is the interaction between Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj from Big Bang Theory. Because they're all
Right.
scientists, they all come from different disciplines of science and so on, but they all have their own unique personalities. And I think the thing I liked about Ghostbusters, it made the fields of science seem cool. You wanted to
Exactly.
be like these guys. You wanted to be scientists, but you also wanted to be like the blue collar guy that did what they did. So,
Well, that's why we root for him, I think. Ambassador
Exactly.
yes.
Benson.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
yeah, I mean, there's so many great scenes throughout these movies, guys. I mean, we might as well get into some of these scenes. I
Yes.
wanted to
Well,
share a fun anecdote though before we get into it.
absolutely.
A Ernie Hudson story, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this, but he was doing promotion for Ghostbusters 1, and he went up to this remote lodge that was supposedly a haunted lodge. Supposedly, right? He goes up there and he does radio press, and he stays in this haunted lodge. It'll look good for the show. They'll do news articles about it, or for the film. And he goes up there, guys, and he's sitting there in his room late at night, and he suddenly wakes up. And he's on record, he's on tape saying all this stuff. And he wakes up and he looks over at the door, and there's a silhouette of a dude standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking to himself, what the F? What is going on here? And he wakes up his wife. He's like, do you see that over there? And she sees it. All of a sudden, the son wakes up. His son wakes up. And they're staring at this. They think there's a person in the room. He flips on the light. There's nobody there. They get their shit and they run out the door and realize there's nowhere to go. They're out in the middle of nowhere. They have to go back in. And they just had like a crazy experience. Actually, he actually saw a ghost during Ghostbusters promotion, according to him.
Awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's creepy. That is, yeah. I can say that is full tilt creepy. Really, yeah. So, whew.
Kind of a fun
Picture-
story, though.
Didn't that happen to an actress as well? She was playing though one of the Conjuring movies. What's her name?
Oh Jesus, I would not. Yeah,
Yeah, well, her name is King. What's her name? Joey King, the girl who plays the girl, and she had like on set she had all these bruises, and she went to the doctor, and they were like, "We have no explanation." Yeah, she's. I think she's in the first Conjuring movie. She's now full grown. She's like 20 years old. Yeah, super weird. But I just wanted to like. That's like something I've heard before that happens, you know, on sets.
Well, there are, as far as I know, I don't think there are any like strange goings on the sets of either one of these movies. I don't know if there was anything weird that went on with the new one or not. But there has been history with certain films or certain franchises that deal with the supernatural or the occult or whatever the case, and that's
I think
not
Poltergeist, right? Poltergeist was one.
Yeah,
the girl,
yeah,
the girl had like stuff happen when she got older. I think
Carol Ann, the actress, actually, she died. I think shortly after the third Poltergeist film came out, and I think the circumstances behind her death were kind of no foul play is expected, but it was very weird how she died
Superman.
Per se.
That was a weird one too. All the stuff that happened with Superman.
The first one?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of anything going. I wasn't aware of anything going on with that one, but
I heard it was a cursed film.
Yeah, there's some films that are just like doomed when they start.
Yeah. So
good movie, but we saw what happened to poor Christopher Reeve, man. I mean, God bless him.
Yeah, absolutely. And to the chat, George, just simply George. George, good to see you, bud. And he brings this up. Ghostbusters is a lot of fun. Need to rewatch Ghostbusters too. Yes.
Definitely.
Now, Fun fact about, and I don't know if either one of you know this or not, but the gentleman who played Vigo, the Carpathian, that was not his voice.
No, because
They-
that guy's from Germany, and he had his accent was too thick to play Vigo. He's actually a boxer, so that's what I put in the chat. My dad knew him, and his name is actually Prince from Hamburg. He was in Die Hard. He was one of the goons in Die Hard 1.
That's right. The big blonde guy. The big blonde guy. Yeah, I thought he looked familiar. Dang it.
Yeah. And they actually, I think he told me something about it, that they can't use my voice, because he had such a thick German accent. So it would just sound ridiculous. Just like Arnold,
But he was creepy as fuck. I don't care. He was creepy with that.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting fact. There was another German actor who played, and it was actually in Goldfinger, one of the Sean Connery James Bond films. The guy who played Auric Goldfinger, they had to dub his voice too because his accent was so thick that they couldn't understand anything he was saying. Now,
did you ever see the side by side? Did you ever see that?
From Goldfinger?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
So did I. I thought he was better.
Really?
I thought he was better.
I could see that, but at the same time, you don't want the audience to not be able to understand the main villain's dialogue. But I do
Darth Vader. Have you guys ever seen the undubbed Darth Vader scene where he's like,
with
chip apart, I want him alive?
With David Prowse's thick Scottish brogue. Yeah.
It's very funny. But I loved the guy, and I can't believe he passed away last year, but I loved him. He was such
he did?
Yes.
David Prowse, he passed last year. Yeah.
And he never got that ending, But there was this documentary where they actually CGI'd his head on top of in the Return of the Jedi when Luke takes off his helmet. That's actually David Prowse's face. There's no footage on YouTube to see it, but they did it in a private viewing for David Prowse only. So he saw himself, with a CGI head.
That's awesome.
Under the mask. That's so cool, It was a French documentary.
Now, I do have a question. Do either one of you know the name of the actor who did the voice of Vigo the Carpathian for the movie? No? I can tell you. If you don't know, it's okay. Oh, we lost Zach.
I think he dropped. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. He always comes back. I won't wait or anything till he comes back. He may have clicked on something by accident. Zach, come back here.
I'm also learning right now just to use StreamYard better because we usually don't use it so much.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. Zach is back.
There he is. Okay. It was actually Max von Sydow who did the voice of Vigo the Carpathian.
No.
Oh my God, yes. Now I can hear it. Yes.
Really?
Yep. Max von Sydow
did we also lose him just recently?
Yeah.
It was a year before. I think it was 2019 actually when he passed, I think.
Right. And I would always confuse them with the guy from oh my God, what's his? The guy who played Count Dooku. I would always Yes, I thought they were the same guy for years. Isn't that so funny? I don't know why. It happens.
Well, here's the thing. This is just a quirky little thing that floats around the internet from time to time when anybody talks about Christopher Lee. Everybody believes that Christopher Lee is actually an immortal. He just went to sleep for 100 years and he'll come back rejuvenated. But we did lose him a couple of years ago as well.
That was Christopher Lee didn't die. He completed life.
Right.
That's a good one.
That's true too. That's true too. Because think about everything that man did and everybody that he met.
Yeah.
We can truly say he had a life well lived. But getting back into Ghostbusters, I have always loved comedies. Always loved comedies and good comedies. And the 1980s was honestly a great decade for really good comedic films. And the dialogue in the first Ghostbusters, and then the second one as well, was so tongue-in-cheek and so quick and so quippy and just very, very well, to a certain degree, cerebral. It was like a thinking man's humor, but it was still where everybody could get it.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite quips, one of my favorite exchanges is in the mayor's office, and y'all are probably going to know which one I'm talking about. Everything was going fine until Dickless over here shut down the power grid.
Ridiculous. And then he says,
They
yes,
caused an explosion. Is this true? Yes, it's true.
It is true.
This man has no dick.
Yes, exactly. I love it. It's so good. Yeah. There's so many good one-liners in this one, like the nice shooting ticks, or there's so much good dialogue when he told them, like, you never studied, right? Like, it's so good, like, when
Stans is talking to Venkman,
you never studied. Yeah.
You never studied.
Yeah. And I just love that Peter's such a, he's like a playboy, and then he likes to torture people, but with a certain humorous, way of doing things. He's not evil.
Yeah. No, he's not malicious. He's just kind of he is like a used car salesman. He's not mean. He's just trying to get by like everybody else, and he'll do whatever he has to, even if it's unethical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well,
the way he jumps.
Indifferent.
Yes, also the take when he jumps over the. They have like this door in there when they buy the building, and when what's her name when she comes in,
Dana Barrett.
The love interest, Dana Barrett, and that like he wants to receive her. The way he like just jumps off over that wooden door, remember, and almost falls. It's just so humorous the way he tries to hit on her, and it's just so good. It's like
Zach, you think you were going to say something? Go ahead, bud.
Well, I mean, the character of Peter Venkman, I mean, Bill Murray in general is just so indifferent. I mean, there's something very unique about the way he does the character. He just doesn't give a shit, man.
Yep.
There's something about that that's kind of endearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said, the dynamic between the three main Ghostbusters, and then when they bring in Winston Zeddemore, Ernie Hudson's character, and they are so freaking exhausted from all the busts they've had to do, and Janine's like, "This is Winston Zeddemore. He's applied for one of the position." He's like, "Beautiful, you're hired. Follow me." Right. And they just dump a bunch of traps in his arms and take him down to the basement. And I'm gonna have to say this: the actor who played Walter Peck is by far one of my favorite antagonists from the 1980s or any movie, to be honest with you. I mean, honestly, the guy's just doing his job, but he doesn't have to be a dick about it.
Right.
I'm just saying. But the guy who plays him, I mean, he played that really sleazy reporter in Die Hard as well. And from what I hear, the guy's actually a really decent, nice guy, and he kept getting cast as assholes for some of the movies he was in. Yeah, but now one thing I will say, we can do some digging on this one. I really enjoyed the special effects for these movies. And considering this was the 1980s and CGI was not a thing, they figured it out. They figured out how to do these shots, to do these effects. And I will say this, for a 1980s movie, the effects do not take you out of the movie. That's how good they were. And how good they hold up now. But I have to say, some of my favorite creatures from the Ghostbusters, the first one in particular, the Hellhounds, the Keepmaster and the Gatekeeper, right. Gozer. I love the design of Gozer. I don't know who played Gozer in the movie. I know it was a woman, but I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I could probably look up.
I could tell you who designed the costume.
Okay, go ahead.
David Bowie.
No.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, I'm joking.
No, that does not surprise me.
No,
It
I'm
must
I'm
have
joking.
been-
That character reminds me of David Bowie so much. I mean, looks just like him.
Oh, the Gozer with the phone.
Yeah,
Gozer.
looks
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
like him.
yeah.
You know what?
I
Hold on.
thought the dog, what they call a dog. Like who let the dog in? Remember that? when the monster comes into the apartment and who brought their dog or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it in a while, so I can't really. My quotes are like not.
Okay,
Gozer
hey,
was
I found
freaky.
it. I found her. Hang on, I found her. 2 seconds. Let me screen share this. I found her. If I can get to cooperate. Here we go. I'm going to do my darndest not to butcher.
Slavica.
Slavica Jovan.
I was gonna say she looked kind of like Russian or something.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. And let's see. During audition, Slavica played Gozer as a timeless figure and an arrogant, almost arrogant Roman empress who felt regular humans were beneath her. She took part in about 3 weeks worth of shooting, playing a god. She used her imagination and listening to stage direction to portray Gozer. That does not wow.
Yeah, and she was good, like very well, hot.
Oh, and she's got.
For
yeah.
When an 8-year-old or 6-year-old like looks at that, it's like, well, she looks kind of nice, I mean, so.
Oh yeah. Well, I
You
mean, for heaven's
in the
sakes.
film?
I love the, oh my god, when she asks, "Are you a god?" and then he says like, "No," and then he
No,
says,
that
"If
thing's like
somebody
one of my
asks you if you're
nightmares
a
too.
god, you say yes." I love that. Also, that line.
When
so
someone
good.
asks you if you're a god, you
You
say
yes, yes, yes. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, I did.
Freaky.
And also, yeah, very,
If I
very
had
freaky.
one word to describe that character is freaky. Don't they open up a fridge and there she is?
No,
That was the
no,
dog monster.
That was when Dana was in her apartment and she saw the light coming from her fridge and she opens it and then she sees that weird temple and she sees all sorts of ghosts or apparitions flying around it. And then she sees one of the
Gozer.
No, it wasn't Gozer. It was one of the Hellhounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I love that scene
says
where the
same
eggs
location though,
start to,
right? Same location.
Remember Vassar, when the eggs are starting to like cook? How did they do that? That was so good.
I honestly am not sure how they did that.
Isn't it that same temple?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, the one we see at the end of the movie. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one. Yeah. But I will say this: I love the design of the apartment building, and it just looks creepy. And okay, when Dana gets possessed by the gatekeeper, and she comes on to Peter, and he's like, I want to speak to Dana. Dana. There is no Dana. There's only Zool.
Yes, I love it. That's so good.
Okay. And he's like, that's fine, bud. No worries. So,
okay.
But yeah, Zach, being you've got to leave in a few minutes, I'm going to let you have the floor and just give your, this is your time. Talk about, just give us your thoughts on Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters 2. Excuse me.
Well, I think the first one and the second one hold up great. I have both of them in my collection. I don't have the wonderful Blu-ray versions that you guys have, but I've got the DVD editions.
Hey, it all works.
Perfect.
But they were a little bit cheaper, so. But yeah, I mean, really good. I mean, the chemistry among the main cast is amazing. I thought Sigourney Weaver was amazing. Just overall, a tremendous cast. I mean, you had a clear vision, both comedically and otherwise, throughout these movies, where it's kind of its own unique blend of stuff. There's nothing really you can compare it to. Mm-hmm. So for those reasons, it's one of those movies that I will keep coming back to over the years to rewatch. I'll add to that, it's a shame what they did with 2016. As I told you, I paid to see it, saw it in the theater. And we all know how that turned out. So hopefully they can turn the ship around with the new one.
Right. I've not.
Yeah.
It's so funny, Ambassador. I've not seen that movie yet. I have it. I bought it. I have it digital, but I've not seen the 2016 movie. Not because I don't know. I just haven't had the time, and I was so bummed that it didn't have the original cast that I haven't tried it. I can't say it's bad or it's good. I just
It's
haven't.
bad.
I've heard some bad things. Yeah.
Take my word for it. It's not very good.
Yeah. I should give it.
I will go and watch bad movies on purpose. That may be crazy. Ambassador, I saw the film Pixels in the theaters.
Pixels. Yeah, I remember. I saw it.
You know, here's the thing. I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, hey, this actually looks like it might be really good. And then the reviews came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
It was
Lord.
a piece of garbage. I will see bad movies, and that's why I went and saw
me
Ghostbusters.
too. I will watch Batman Returns. Not Batman Returns is amazing. Batman Forever. Batman Forever.
Batman Forever. That's one of the ones I can't stomach. I got to put a line in the sand at some point.
I know.
No, I get that.
Like, I think I told you, Ambassador, I've seen Jack and Jill all the way through as well. I will watch crap movies. So Ghostbusters 2016, man, was just a debacle. So I'm really hoping this one's good. It looks good. Sounds good. You've got the right pieces together. There's pictures of who's the director of the original one?
The original was hold on. Goodness sake, where are you? Okay,
the original was Ivan Reitman.
Yeah, Ivan Reitman. He produced and directed.
Yes.
And you said his son is now directing the new one, or?
Yeah, Jason Reitman.
So it's in good
hands.
He's
I saw behind the scenes video with his son, and he's talking about the new movie, and there's pictures of him on the set of the originals as a little boy. So it looks great, man. It should be good.
Yeah. As I said, I am nothing if not excited for this new film. I mean, they put together a really good cast, and honestly, come November, I think there will be much we will have to be thankful for. I think we'll be thankful for the passage of time to be done so that we can go sit back and enjoy this movie. And it's coming out at a good time. It's coming around Thanksgiving. And it looks like this might be they might be marking this as a family film. And I think that's the right direction to take this, because it does deal with family. It deals with Egon's family in particular. And I am all for them doing what they're doing with this. Bring in a new bunch, paying honor and homage to the originals, and let them have their pass the torch moment to Egon's family and to Egon's grandkids. And I think that's awesome. And I'll be happy. I'll be happy to see.
That already speaks volumes, because a lot of people nowadays, they kind of ignore the old characters and the original characters, and that is very cool. Like, I didn't know that, so that really makes me happy. That is about Egon's family,
Well, I wanted to quickly respond to the MJ1 Media comment on Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. By all means.
That rebooted the...
I think the phrase Batman and Robin is better than has never been spoken before.
Let's see that.
Well, he's saying Batman Forever is better than Batman and Robin.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying it's better than Captain Marvel.
He said that?
I think he said both. He said the other.
Oh, I see the comment. Here. Batman and Robin has some issues, but he gave us the Dark Knight trilogy, and it's better than Captain Marvel.
I mean, he did give us Batman Begins.
With all due respect, no.
Well, Captain Marvel is definitely not one of my favorites, but it was kind of okay. But
yeah,
Batman and Robin and Batman Forever for me are just the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
I mean, I just can't even deal with it.
I get that.
Like it's almost like watching a psychedelic trip at Disneyland is kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah,
With all the
can-
colors and the weirdness and the spiral
The
imagery.
spirals, yeah, it's like an acid trip. You're so right, Zach. Yeah,
So
It's just
Crazy.
bizarre. It was
the
bizarre.
nipples,
Those movies
the
were
nipples
crazy.
on the suits.
Well, and the
I don't
bat
know.
credit card. What
Oh
was that?
my god! The ice skating. The ice skating.
oh,
The bat credit card.
What happened? Like they had to just have like ice skates in their boots at all times. Yeah, we could. We should, Zach. We should do like a stream about Batman and Robin and mention everything that's bad
Sure.
with the movies.
Sure,
we would
I
have
would
like
have
a
to watch
2-hour
it again,
stream.
which would be a problem.
Which would be, yeah, of course.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was just god awful too. Everybody involved in those movies was just awful. Uma Thurman was terrible. Tommy Lee Jones was. Oh God.
I know.
Just a nightmare.
And it's crazy because all of them are pretty good actors and like in their respective fields, you know. I mean, Uma Thurman, Kill Bill kills it, you know.
Yep.
Pulp Fiction. I mean, Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey, and then Arnold is Arnold. But in those scenarios, no. It's
all the terrible one-liners, Nick, where you've got
man.
like. What are the Mr. Freeze ones? Can you think of one?
He says, "Freeze."
Everybody chill.
Yeah, he
chill
was
out.
Yeah, chill out.
Come on,
Freeze.
so many dumb lines like that.
It's just so bad. But yeah, I just told Zach when you left, Ambassador, that we should do like maybe. Oh yeah, we could do like just a fun, you know, reaction.
Have you done the Batman and Robin, Ambassador?
I have not. I try to avoid bad movies.
I mean, I don't blame you. You know.
So, but yeah, we could.
Kill the franchise, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Christopher Nolan came in and resurrected it, much like the Lazarus Pit resurrected Ra's al Ghul. Now, there's a deep cut for you. But you want to talk about good one-liners, whereas Batman and Robin had bad ones. I know I mentioned one of them already from Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 have really, really good one-liners. I'm not going to lie.
And also good music. Oh my God, the theme. And then they had Run DMC in the second Ghostbusters, which at that time I was a huge fan of. Like Run DMC was like my go-to, you know. They had like the Ghostbusters. They did the Ghostbusters theme, and that was just fantastic. It was because I was such a fan at that time of Run DMC. And the first one, what's his name? The one who wrote the Ghostbusters theme.
Oh, Ray Park.
Ray Park. No. What a theme! It's like, I mean, you can compare that with Back to the Future.
Ray Parker Jr. was his name.
Ray Parker Jr. But it's just so iconic because you can compare that with Indiana Jones or Back to the Future. You know, it's very good, even though it's sung. You know.
Yeah. Well, and here's the interesting thing. Elmer Bernstein did the score. He did it for the first one. I don't know if he did it for the second one. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. Randy Eldman did the music for the second one, and ILM did the special effects.
There you go. That's what,
Which doesn't surprise me. I mean, ILM at the time was one of the very best. Well, Zach, you can put that in the public chat, dude. Okay. Zach has this really weird penchant for putting stuff.
The Twinkie. What about the Twinkie? I love that. I love that quote. It's one of the best.
Imagine a Twinkie. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I forget the exact dimensions.
I think he was saying something like, "This represents, etc." And he's showing them and he's holding up the Twinkie, trying to explain his plan to him.
I know, I love it. That's a big. Then he's like, "That's a big Twinkie." Isn't that? And I love also that line that says, "As long as you give me a steady paycheck, I'll believe
anything you say."
I love that, you know, because it's such a. I don't really care, you know. I just want to get paid.
Yeah.
So
Here's another
I
good
don't really
point.
care what you guys do, you know.
Here's
So I
another
love
interesting aspect: is we kind of get to see these guys become celebrities.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nick, this will be right up your alley. Zach, this might be up yours too. A famous radio DJ from the 80s has a voice cameo in this movie, in the first Ghostbusters. Does anybody know who
You
it
got to
is?
give me a better
Yeah.
hint than that, dude.
Wait, he
It's-
passed away. It's
I'll just say it. Casey Kasem.
yes,
even know who that
exactly. And then also
He was a
yes,
big radio. Zach, go look up Casey Kasem radio on YouTube. You'll probably find something. He was one of the big radio DJs back from like the 1970s to through the 80s and 90s. I think unfortunately he passed away a few years back, but he was he was a classic guy, and
Casey Kasem, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, he did the
It
Casey
says here
Kasem top four.
Scooby
And
Doo.
Larry King also.
Who
Larry
was
King,
he in
remember?
Scooby Doo?
Yes, I think he did one of the voices for Scooby Doo.
Yeah, it says here. It says he. Let me see who he was though.
I think he was.
Oh, he was
Shaggy.
dude. He was Shaggy.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about that.
That's a
But
pretty
yeah.
big one. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
pretty iconic part.
Oh yeah,
The original
So.
Shaggy. It says here he did it until like he died. Did Shaggy from the beginning till he was till he passed away.
yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
But, yeah,
Did
and
the
Nick
character
brought-
for like 20 years, dude. Longer than that.
Yeah, that's how much he loved it.
Yeah.
And I mean, and Nick brought up another good one, Larry
Dude,
King.
he was also in Transformers the movie.
Yep, I knew that.
Oh.
Hmm. I can't remember who he played, but I do remember that he was in it. Yes.
Cliff Jumper.
Okay, he was an Autobot. Yeah, I did a review and a watch party for the Transformers the movie back a couple of years. It was about a year or so ago.
The last
I actually the anime, the 1980s animated,
Oh,
not the-
beautiful.
not
I
the-
love that
not
movie.
not the
More
Bay
than
Transformer
me.
movies. No,
Yeah,
the only one of those now here's the crazy thing. I love Transformers. But the only one of the of the ones that Michael Bay did that I even remotely liked was the first one. The second one was okay. The third one, I watched it and I forgot it. The only thing I remember is that Leonard Nimoy was in it, and
they took
Yeah,
out Megan Fox.
Sentinel
They took
Prime.
out Megan Fox.
Sentinel
Also, which
Prime,
kinda like,
and he used the line from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and it absolutely made me die a
Did he
little
really
inside.
use the same line?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Yeah.
Oh my God, he did say that. You're right.
Yeah.
He said that. Sentinel Prime said that. Wow. Maybe that's like a callback or something. But
yeah.
No, because it was never in any of the Transformer cartoons. And the only
maybe it was a callback to Star Trek, is what I'm saying. Maybe it was like a little haha,
like a little
no, because it
Yeah.
wasn't tied into anything that even remotely was tied to in the particular context of the scene. It had
aside
nothing
from the
to do.
actor.
Oh Lord!
It could be that. It could be them trying to, do a little thing for Nimoy. But I can't tell you. But I actually really like the second Transformers movie. It's probably my favorite one.
It wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it and everything, but yeah. So
Say
yeah.
hi.
Hey,
Hi everyone.
hey, Lex. Long time no see. How you doing?
Hi, I can't hear you.
Oh,
It's okay.
Hi.
She's
Hey, Lex. It's
calling
been a while. How
Hello.
you doing, darling?
I know. Good. How are you? Hi, Zach.
I
She's
cannot
also
complain.
you're also Ghostbusters fan.
Oh,
right?
I love Ghostbusters.
But you haven't seen the second one, Ghostbusters 2.
No, I haven't.
And you haven't seen
And the
16.
other one either.
Yeah. She's just the original.
Yeah.
Like, you know it, right?
You need to check it, Lex. You need to check it out at least
Okay.
at least once or twice.
Okay.
The first one's iconic. The second one is really good. It's solid. You know what you should do?
She got me this because she
Yeah.
knows so much. that I love Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ecto-1. Fun fact, did you all know they actually did a Transformer of Ecto-1? It's called the Ectotron.
Oh wow!
I did not
I
know
did
that.
not know that.
That's cool.
Give me just a minute. I'll see if I can pull up an image of it. Give me just a minute. Talk amongst yourselves.
You know what the best one is? Lex is 2016 is my favorite.
Oh really?
Really?
That's like
No, it's
that.
not. No, I hated it.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. And we were just
Max
talking about the
Leg,
Batman movie.
he
I
does
did
that.
see it though. I
showed
did see
you.
it. I went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it because
Yeah, I
I'm
only
scared I'm
showed
not gonna
her
like it.
because
Don't.
when we met, she was not into like superheroes or dragons or anything sci-fi. So I did show her Batman 1 and 2, Batman 89 and Batman Returns. Loved them. You loved them.
Yes.
Right? And then I
Yeah,
got
those
home.
are great.
But I never showed her Returns or Forever. I'm sorry, Forever or Batman and Robin.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to watch them either.
Yeah, no, she watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Okay,
here we go.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
have
God.
you guys by chance watched the Dark Knight Returns animated movies?
No.
You would dig those. Both of you
Really?
would dig those. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Are those the
there's
ones that are on HBO right now? That Max
HBO
was
Max?
telling us
Yes,
Is
they
it
are.
Ambassador?
That's Ectotron.
about? Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Wow,
Slimer, there's
that's
Slimer.
insane.
Yeah,
love
That
it.
is
they actually did one for.
crazy.
Here's the funny thing: they actually did one for the DeLorean from Back to the Future as well. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
What? Oh,
That's
my
another
Lord.
Hot Wheel that she got from me.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Back to the Future Transformer. 2 seconds. Yep,
Oh,
there he is.
Wow, the antenna. I love it.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
is amazing.
Even
he's
your
called
dad-
Gigawatt.
Uh-huh.
So
Wow. Okay, well, I am going to let you go.
Okay.
Dinner is ready.
Okay, well, I
So-
guess then I'm gonna have to drop off. But thank you so
No,
much,
that's-
Ambassador, for having
Thank
me.
you
And
so
Zach, nice to
much.
meet you.
Hey, you
And
too, man.
let's do that Batman stream. Whenever you want.
Sure, I'm down for it.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
hey, Nick and Lex,
Yeah.
I follow Zach on Twitter. Are you all still on Twitter? I can't remember.
We're so bad.
And I just
never
subs-
check or anything, but we follow anyone who follows us.
I just subscribed to you with my other channel, my old channel.
Yeah,
so
personal.
Okay.
yeah, but it's called Jazz Fusion.
Yeah,
1980.
okay.
Yeah. So but Zach, send me your link so I can sub to you.
It's right there.
Where?
He's
Right
on
by my
Twitter. It's real Zach Leary.
It's at real. Okay.
Oh,
got
okay,
it. That's
perfect.
the Twitter thing.
Okay, awesome.
It's okay.
Tag or whatever.
All right, awesome.
Bye,
Well, thank you so much,
everyone.
guys. Thank you for having me. You have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and stay safe and take care. Okay.
You too,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Good to see you
Bye
both.
bye. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
You too, bud. Peace.
Well, I
The
got
guys-
to bounce too.
No, yeah, I know,
Unfortunately.
Zach. Hey, dude, you have a good night, and thank you for coming on tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourself. So,
Always good to see you.
you too. And hey, everybody, if you have not done so, other way, go follow this guy on social media. He is on Twitter. Check out his channel, The Unknown Regions. I have done a few videos with him on a few topics, and he is doing some good stuff over there on The Unknown Regions. Go check out what he's doing. It's worth your time. So,
I appreciate
but I think,
it. Thanks, man.
hey, yeah,
Take it
hey,
easy.
you too,
All right,
Zach.
man.
All right. Talk to you later. Anyways, for those of you that are still in the chat, if you want to pop in, I have pinned the link up the top. But we're gonna go for a little bit yet and everything, and talk a little more Ghostbusters before I wrap up for the evening. But yeah, honestly, to kind of just come back around to what we were talking about with the Ghostbusters films. One of the many things that I love about these films and what they're doing with this new film is the fact that they are paying homage to the original cast, the original crew, the original Ghostbusters. And I will be interested to see if this does kick off a new series or if they do another film with Egon's family and so on. And if they do, I think that'll be a really nice way to carry on the franchise, because this is a franchise, like I said, that has not seen a whole lot of attention. I mean, it's not really left the public conscience by any stretch, for the simple fact that Ghostbusters is timeless in a lot of ways. Hold on one second, guys. So, as I was just on to Miss Madam Ambassador for a minute. So, but anyway, as I was saying, and oh, holy crap! Here's the name I haven't seen in a long time either. It's been a night of reunions and pop-ups. Superhero reviews. Cody, good to see you, man. It has been a very long time. Glad you're here tonight. We are talking Ghostbusters. We're talking Ghostbusters Afterlife. We're talking about the original films, and we're just having some fun this evening. So. I'll bring up George's comment here. Revenge of the Fallen is stupid for me. I actually like the first three Transformers despite the problems, but 4 and 5, Michael Bay lost his mind. Yeah, George, you're not entirely wrong. You really aren't, because like I said, after the third one, I checked out of the live action ones that Michael Bay was doing, just because it was just copy, paste, repeat, and I love the fact that they got Peter Cullen to come back and do the voice of Optimus Prime for the first film, and they had Hugo Weaving doing the voice of Megatron. But after a while, with the third one, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I don't care about this anymore. But I will say, I periodically go back and rewatch the Ghostbusters films. But I can tell you all, with all honesty, I have not rewatched any of the live action Transformers movies it's been a good 2 or 3 years, because there's just nothing there for me to revisit. Yeah, it's cool to see these characters, the Transformers, the Autobots that I really loved and everything as a kid, but I just didn't have any interest to revisit a bunch of CGI explosions and giant robots and everything. It wasn't intriguing to me. But I can go back and revisit the Ghostbusters films, and they always make me laugh. If it's like I have said, there are certain movies that I will go and rewatch if I've had a bad day or I've had a rough week and I just want to kick back and I just want to enjoy a great old film. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 are like that. Now, I will get into a little bit of Ghostbusters 2 because we've talked about the first one for a little bit now. The things I liked about it was the villain. I liked Vigo the Carpathian. He was a very intimidating, a very imposing figure. And obviously, this is something I didn't know, but my brain almost connected it, but I was like, no, it can't be the same guy. But he played, as Nick and everything, Nick and Lex said a little while ago, the guy who played Vigo the Carpathian also was one of the henchmen in the first Die Hard. He was the big, tall, blonde terrorist that Bruce Willis beats up and leaves hanging by a chain from the ceiling of in Nakatomi Plaza. And I will say this: I wish Oscar the baby had been Peter and Dana's kid instead of Dana and whoever it was that she was involved with in the time in between Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Because if y'all remember, Ghostbusters 2 takes place 5 years after the first movie. And I have to admit, the little Janosz Poha, the curator there at the museum, that we're not the curator, but the department head that works, that is over Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver's character's department. He gives off a very creepy vibe, but he doesn't seem like necessarily a bad guy per se. He's just very culturally awkward because he immigrated from wherever he's from originally to the United States. And I love that one line, and I think it's either Peter or it's Ray that asks him, "Where are you from?" He says, "The Upper West Side." Yeah, Planet Q, the henchman for Vigo. Yeah. And I'll bring up Planet Q's other comment here. Ghostbusters is bringing new fans to the movies that we have grown up with. Planet Q, you are absolutely positively right. Yeah, you are. And I'll also bring up MJ. I'll comment here. I appreciate the Ghostbusters video game explained that the mood slime from 2 was meant for Gozer in 1. Vigo just used it as a means to bring himself back, tying the 2 movies and the game together. Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, MJ1. I've heard from some other streams and everything, and I take these as reliable sources, that they are pulling from the first two movies and from the video game to craft the story to where everything fits together for Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I will be really interested to see how exactly these three movies plus the video game do tie together. But I have to admit, when I heard that they were going to do another Ghostbusters movie, I was like, really? You're going to do another Ghostbusters after that train wreck called Ghostbusters Answers the Call? Like, seriously? And I want to qualify something. I'm not saying that it's a train wreck because of the cast. A female-led Ghostbusters that was crafted and framed in a different way could have potentially worked. But what they did with this movie was just a train wreck from start to finish, and that's the long and short of it. I mean, I've seen clips of it, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't watch this. And I'll bring up MJ1's character comment here. Awesome. I truly hope that they reference the game in Afterlife. If they don't, I'll be disappointed. I might be a little disappointed, but it's not going to like take me out of the movie entirely. And all right, here's another thing that I find here's one of the really great things that I love about revisiting the original Ghostbusters films is this is soaked in absolute 80s vibe from top to bottom. And, well, holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, making his first appearance on the ambassadorial wing, the one and the only Press Play Streaming Studios.
Just call me Alan. How you doing, my friend?
Alan, it is a pleasure. Good to see you, man.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for joining me this evening. So,
no, not a problem at all. You and I have conversed a couple of times back and forth through through both YouTube and Twitter, and I was really excited to see that you were on tonight. I've only got maybe a half hour or so, but I wanted to stop in and say hello.
That's fine. I'm not good. This isn't going to be a super long one. I'm probably going to go for another 20 or 30 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap up for the night. So, hey, perfect. I've kind of said my piece or anything for the moment. So, Alan, the floor is yours.
Well, I don't really want to take over the stream, but
no, that's fine.
You were talking about Ghostbusters earlier, and I heard you guys talking about Ray Parker. Did you hear about the controversy behind that?
Somebody had mentioned it in the chat.
That was me.
Oh, that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes the chat goes by so quick that, but yeah, he got sued by Huey Lewis for copyright for Ghostbusters. No, yeah. I did not know that. So, Alan, please elaborate.
What happened there was actually, Huey Lewis, because of Back to the Future and several other movies at the time, and his career as it goes, was really popular. And so they had actually approached him about writing the song, the theme song for Ghostbusters, and he was too busy at the time, had other things going on, tours and concerts and album recordings. So they respectfully declined. That's when they got a hold of Ray Parker. And Ray Parker, has famously said it took him 24 hours, right, to write it. Well, as soon as the movie was released, Huey Lewis heard it and he said, "Hold on a second, that is the music to I Want a New Drug." And if you listen to it, it is the music to I Want a New Drug. Dun,
Wow.
dun, 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 dun. And the court agreed with them, and there was an undisclosed amount that had to be paid to Huey Lewis. Yeah.
Wow.
So whether he really wanted to or not, he actually got to be part of the music soundtrack for Ghostbusters.
Now that you said that, I've got the beat or the melody for I wanted to.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. It's the exact same song in that through that part. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the whole controversy between Rick James and MC Hammer back in the 90s with "Can't Touch This" and "She's a Super Freak."
Yeah.
Or
the most famous I think would be Vanilla Ice and Queen. I remember a video interview with Vanilla Ice, and he literally said, and I'm not joking. He said, "Queen's goes, dun 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 dun. Mine goes, dun 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 dun." Said the exact same thing twice, and I just laughed. I was like, for Queen's. Another One Bites the Dust, and his big whatever that song was at the time. But I believe it honestly, knowing the guys from Queen and how they are. If he would have just come out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan. This is a great song," they probably would have given him his blessing and went on. But instead, he had to deny it and do all that stuff. So they said, "No, we got you."
Yeah, and it's better to just own up and say, "Hey, yeah, I screwed up. I admit it." And they probably would. I mean, I don't know Queen personally to any extreme.
No,
I would imagine as fellow musicians, they would have probably gone, "Okay, you give us some credit, we'll call it a day."
Yeah, and it was just like when Simon Pegg was trying to do that famous scene in Shaun of the Dead. They wanted a really fun and outgoing song to kind of be a controversy or an opposite of the horrible action that was going on screen. And they literally called Brian May and said, "This is what we're doing." And Brian was like, "Yeah, do it."
Yeah, Mr. Fahrenheit. Yes.
Such a great song.
I love that song.
And that scene, to this day, I can't hear that song without seeing them, in perfect time.
I know.
With the sticks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but someone actually did an edit of Mr. Fahrenheit to the hallway scene from Rogue One.
Oh, I bet it was awesome.
Oh, it was.
I bet it was awesome.
It so was. It so was. It was. Yeah. They took Mr. Fahrenheit and they set it to Vader's hallway scene from Rogue One, and I'm like, this is my happy place.
Yeah, no doubt.
I geeked out so hard. And Mama Bastard walked into the room and she's like, "Honey, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Somebody took Mr. Fahrenheit and said to Vader's hallway scene from Rogue One." And she's like, "What's Mr. Fahrenheit?" And I'm like,
oh.
I was like, Have you heard of the band Queen?" She's like, "Yeah, I've heard of Queen." I was like, "Do you know they did a song called Mr. Fahrenheit?" She's like, "I've heard of it." I was like, "Go look it up on YouTube." I don't know if she ever did. I think she might have. And she came back in. She was like, "I get it."
I get it.
She's like, "I get it." Because she's seen Shaun of the Dead with me. And okay.
My wife hates anything that's even slightly horror related, but I had to show her at least that scene, and she giggled. She's like, "Yeah, that's good."
Oh yeah. Well, and the music for Ghostbusters really sets the tone from it being kind of quirky and whimsical and goofy to sinister, macabre, and mysterious. Elmer Bernstein, who was a really good film composer. He was right up there with John Williams. I mean, if you say Elmer Bernstein, what's the first movie you think of he doing the score for?
Yeah, but to say he's John Williams when you've got Star
Well,
Wars and Jurassic Park and
yeah,
E.T. and
yeah,
that's big. That's
that's
big shoes to fill there.
well, one of my all-time favorite scores that he did for a film was National Lampoon's Animal House.
All right,
He did
I can buy it. I can buy that.
He did. He's done some good ones. He may not have
Yeah.
had as prolific a career as Williams had or has, but he has done some good stuff. He did some good stuff in his career. And I'll bring up Benson's comment here real quick. Ambassador, there was more to that story. Huey Lewis sued for $5 million, settled confidentially. Huey Lewis breached the agreement, so Raker
Agreed.
and got his money back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically what it boils down to is all he did was in the long run was got credit.
Essentially.
Essentially that was it, because it was after so many years Huey made the mistake of on an interview of saying something about it, and that was breach of contract. So basically he had to turn around and pay him back all the not all of, but it was a big portion of the money. Yeah. So yeah, that's true. If you ever get a chance to see, whether you're a big fan of Huey Lewis or not, but if you ever get a chance on to look up the kind of behind the music, it's a very, very interesting story on how many times he has told record companies to go pound salt simply because they wanted him to get rid of a band member, and he was like, "No, we're family. It's more important. Our friendship's more important than the music." Which
I respect that.
Yeah, I had a lot of respect for that. For that.
I can totally respect that myself. Well, the interesting thing to kind of bounce off what you just said, the interesting thing with the Ghostbusters movies, especially with the second one, is very much about the family dynamic. And it's a very unorthodox family dynamic, because you've got, especially with the portrait at the end,
yes,
when it changes from Vigo's painting to the painting of the guys with Oscar, the baby.
Yep.
And Peter kind of takes on the role of a dad, and he's like, I'm not really used to kids. He's like, I'm not really used to babies.
Yeah.
But he does his best. He does what he can to be a good parent and to be a good guardian for Oscar. And I have to admit, one of my favorite lines from Ghostbusters 2, it's an exchange between him and Dana, and she's like, and when you start calling me the old ball and chain, that's when I checked out. He's like, Dana, you don't understand. I need to be needed. I need to be desired. I'm not like other men.
Did you touch on the upcoming movie at all? I'm sorry, I did come in a little bit late.
No, I've talked about some. I talked about the trailer. I've given my thoughts on it. But Alan, by all means, sure.
No, well, I was wondering, because I have a feeling that we probably mirror. Are you excited for it? Because I am.
When I saw the trailer earlier this week, I was like, yes.
Yeah. And the reason I think I am is because, unlike that abomination that will no longer be mentioned, they're really trying to capture the feel of family that was captured in the first two movies.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's something that's I think that's something that a lot of people are wanting from media nowadays. And I'm glad to see that studios are giving that to the public.
Yes.
I mean, a particular a recent show that I've discussed was The Mandalorian, particularly Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
And it very much deals with the concepts of parenthood and relationship between a father and son, quote unquote.
I agree.
And what you've got with Ghostbusters Afterlife is this is Egon's family. This is Egon's family carrying on the legacy of their grandfather. And whether they realize it or not, they are doing so. They're kind of going out and doing this just because they can. And you see the grandson tinkering and trying to get Ecto-1. And I think it's the granddaughter says, "Why did you pick the station wagon?" He's like, "It's the only one that had an engine." And it's that very quippy humor that was very much a hallmark of the first two Ghostbusters films.
Yeah, and it wasn't forced.
No,
and it wasn't, hey, look at me, I'm going to be I'm going to just stand here and ad lib lines and you can catch what you want. It was well thought out by a group of guys who had extremely wonderful comedic timing. They had chemistry with each other, and you bought the fact that one of them cared for the others equally.
Yeah,
it was very family oriented, very family, and that's what sold the movie. No matter how disruptive Murray is on set, they still know. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and I think that while using children in the new one is a bold choice, the fact that they are linking them to the originals and that they're going with that spirit of the originals. I mean, unless there's something that they're not showing on the previews that's going to just change my mind, I'm all in, baby. Come on.
Well, and that's Ghostbusters has been one of Sony / Columbia's hallmark franchises that they really haven't done a whole lot with. I mean, you had the 2 movies, you had the animated series that ran for, I think, maybe a couple of seasons or a couple of years, if that. And then you had the video game back in, I think, 2011 or something. I can't remember exactly when. But then there was nothing.
Video game, but yeah.
Yeah, there was the spin-off game from the 2016 movie, but then there was the game that was actually like a sequel from the first 2 movies.
Right.
And then there's been nothing, and now you've got this. And you've got nice little callbacks. You got nice little Easter eggs. You've obviously got Ecto 1 that's been refurbished and retrofitted and everything else. And you've got Egon's family. You've got Paul Rudd in there. And I'll be honest,
looks so cool. Sorry, the sidecar when you see the seat come out like an actual sidecar, I was like, that looks so cool.
It does. It does. And you've got, of course, I don't know if you caught this or not, but you've got Janine that makes an appearance.
Uh-huh.
You got Annie Potts back, which I'm happy to see.
I didn't catch that.
You're the second person to say that. Zach mentioned that earlier that he didn't catch that she was it. Yeah, she has one. She has one clip. She has one little clip and everything of dialogue in the trailer, but she's in there.
I'm gonna have to check that.
Yeah, I think she makes reference to like Egon or something or whatever. It's real quick. I will say this for the trailer. They put it together very well too. I kind of talked about this last week with my trailer stream, but let's talk trailers when I did some reactions to some trailers. Something that I've seen in the last few months or years or anything is that crafting of trailers has gotten much better. I mean, I'm not saying it's some great feat or anything, but at the same time, I really appreciate what they've done in terms of building trailers that are going to catch people's attention. Oh, and hey,
I agree, but I'm also going to say this about that. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, hello, Tim. Nice to meet you, sir.
You too.
My name is Alan, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Alan.
Nice to meet you. So you've seen me in some of your streams as Press Play Streaming Studios. So when you see that, you know who I am.
Gotcha.
They're pushing on a lot of trailers now that actually it's almost like they're showing too much of the movie. It's almost that you don't need to go see the movie because there's so much information in trailers. Mm-hmm. There used to be the art of teasing you and then getting you there. Now, as you were saying, they're doing a great job with the putting them together more so that way, but they're also showing you more footage than you need. That's just my personal opinion.
And that's not an unfair critique. I mean, you don't want to know too much about the movie that you're going in to see, but at the same time, it's hard to strike that balance of, okay, what the heck's going to go on? Okay, well, I guess I need to go see the movie. And I think that's what the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer did very well. Is it's like,
it did.
It did very well. And to everybody and everything who doesn't know this guy down below me, Tim of Tim Possibles of Tim Talks. Tim, good evening, bud. Good to see you.
How's it going?
Just doing okay. Cannot complain. We've just been talking about Ghostbusters. Zach and Nick and Lex were here earlier, and Alan's here now, and now you're here. So we've just been talking Ghostbusters. We've been talking the trailer, the original movies, just anything and everything Ghostbusters. So floor is yours, bud.
He did the same thing to me.
I think you. I don't know if I don't know if you froze or did I freeze? I don't.
No, he was telling you to go ahead and take the floor at this point, and then he sat back.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I've been kind of lurking. I was in the gym earlier, so I was kind of a little worn and listening. But I want to comment more on the trailer. Yes, the first two Ghostbusters were very solid. The second one with that creepy painting thing will always be stilled in my memory. Like I won't look at paintings like the same way. I was like, if I had one in my room, I'm gonna have to cover it at night. There's no way.
Just real quick, did you all know that the guy who played Vigo did not voice his character?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you know that, Alan?
It feels like a little tickle in the back of my brain, but I'm going to say no. Just I don't want to sound like I'm claiming something I don't.
When I tell you who did the voice, you will hear it in your head, and you will know. Then you go like, yeah, Max von Sydow did the voice of Vigo the Carpathian.
Okay.
What was he in? Or sorry, I'm
Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Who played Father Karras in The Exorcist, who was Dr. Liet Kynes in Dune, who was Laura Santeca in The Force Awakens, who unfortunately is no longer with us, which is very sad. But yeah, he did the voice of Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters too, because the problem was no, it's okay. Just real quick, the actor who portrayed Vigo, his accent was so thick that they couldn't understand anything he was saying when they were doing the playback. So like, it was kind of like the same problem with the actor Gert Frobe, who played Auric Goldfinger in Goldfinger. They had to dub his voice as well. So
yeah. All I was going to say was that if you think about it, especially like when you look back at The Exorcist, he had a very distinctive lilt and cadence to his voice. So as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, Tim, your thoughts on the trailer? What'd you like?
Go ahead. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was a nice blend of like modern stuff with paying homage to the old stuff. Even the detail with the landline phone being red or whatever with the cords, and it was who was that? Dan Aykroyd, the Dan Aykroyd character. Yeah, I absolutely love that.
Raymond Stantz of Ray's Occult.
Yeah, and I see kind of their plan here as far as merchandising. They're gonna if this is a hit, it's gonna be, since they're younger. Yeah. Think Harry Potter. How many movies they bounce out from that? Well, because the kids are so young, they can just keep going with it. And also, like, they typecast this Stranger Kids things in there, like Millie Bobby Brown. So I already got that kind of feel what it was going to be. Yeah. And they brought, like, from Stranger Things, did a nice job of, like, it was very nostalgic because Stranger Things took place in like was it 80s or something? Yeah. This is current day, but it also doesn't feel like current day because of like some of the technology. It's like a smaller town. Has this
very good small town feel.
Yeah. It has this kind of like rigid feel to it, or like dirty, like with the old station wagon. And if anyone knows, like, station wagons were like the soccer mom van back in the day, and now it's like even past the soccer van. So yeah. My mom had a station wagon or whatever.
I remember riding in the shotgun seat, and was all the way in the back. Tim, you may not know this. You're so young, but there was a point in time that there was a seat all the way in the back of the wagon that actually flipped up, and you sat facing out the back door, out the back window.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, Alan.
So you would roll that rear window down to get air, because a lot of the cars back in the early days didn't have adequate air conditioning. And so what my brothers and I would do is we take our little green army men and tie strings around them and toss them out the window and watch them bounce and then reel them back in.
That's nice.
Oh, the fun stuff you can do in the back of a station wagon.
There's a lot of stuff in the back of the station wagon.
You beat me to the punch by 10 seconds. Dang you, Ellen.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, Tim.
No, it's all right, dude.
No, it's fine. It's funny. Like it's very like Toy Story-esque, like Sid or whatever from Toy Story. Not that like you're doing like damaging things, but I think even I sat back in a truck or whatever, and we'd throw little poppets or whatever out. So we did some stuff like that. Never anything like that. I've seen that type of stuff before. But yeah, the trailer worked great. It like kind of paid respect to the old characters, introducing the new characters. I kind of felt like I resonated with the younger characters as well, and the graphics looked amazing in it.
It really did.
I was like, oh yeah. Especially with the little Stay Puft men.
That's where I was just going to talk about that little scene with them roasting them over the fire and stuff. I was laughing so hard at the trailer. I was like, I cannot wait for this. This is awesome.
That's where the merchandising is going to come in. Like
oh yeah, like
Baby Yoda.
His name is Grogu.
Not
Baby Yoda.
I want to show you something.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I don't think that anyone love it.
Well, actually, I can top both of you, but it's in the other room. Mammoth Bastard has the animatronic Grogu.
Nice.
Oh, dang. How much was that thing? Like $80 or something? Or
something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I almost bought one the other day. I was like, oh, I want it.
You know, it's funny. I don't mind people calling him Baby Yoda or the child.
No, I don't mind either. I'm just
giving him a hard time, I'm sure. But the reason I say that is, man, as long as you're saying it, that means you're watching it. And as long as we're watching it, then we're going to get more Star Wars. And that's where I'm at. You know, because to me, Mando feels so much like old Star Wars, man. It feels so much like the real thing that it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. And I don't know about you guys, but when Luke came out and that green saber lit up, I bawled. I mean, I sobbed. I cried so hard I had to rewind it and watch it again because I was literally hands over my face going, I couldn't breathe. I mean, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen on the screen. It was the most beautiful thing.
There are like compilations on YouTube that you can find of people reacting to that scene.
Mm-hmm.
My reaction, it was at the time I was working my another job, and I had to get up early in the morning, and I was like, I got up a little early, and I was like, I got time. I'm gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch the final episode of season 2. And Mammoth Bastard was still asleep, and I didn't want to wake her, but when Red 5 came into frame, I was like, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
You know, even when she said, one, what are they going to do? I still wasn't there yet, but man, when he walked off.
I knew as soon as I saw the ship, I was like, on your left. That's what it reminded me of. It was like an epic moment.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah. But you'd have to go back a little bit into my back catalog of streams, but I did a live watch party of Mandalorian and everything, along with a watch party for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. My reaction, even watching it like a second or a third time, was the same. I was like, "That's my Luke.
Yeah.
That's Luke Skywalker. Not some broken down old hermit written by a half-wit who couldn't write a decent script if his life depended on it."
So Tim, you'll never know the feeling of being 9 years old, sitting in the theater surrounded by adults, and when you hear Han go, "Let's blow this thing, right? Come on, kid, let's blow this thing," and adults around you are standing up and screaming and yelling and applauding and hooting and hollering. Man, dude, no one will understand what it's like to go see Rocky 3 in the theaters right? Mr. Master, you may remember this. Tim, you're way too young. And you hear people in the crowd yelling, "Yo, Rocky, get him, go!" And that's what it was like. Man, when it was Star Wars, it was like this communal group applauding and screaming, almost like you were at a concert. There was nothing like it in the world. And that is what hooked me, and that will continue to hook me. And Luke Skywalker is the man. When I was down on my luck and people were, being a kid and you feel like you're down, Luke was the guy who pulled me through.
Yeah. I guess my comparison would be the Avenger movies would be like my closest thing, because those were
you
epic.
know what? Yes,
and I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I can wholeheartedly. I mean,
people are nuts in Infinity War. But,
I was okay. I remember this very, very well, and I know we're going off a little bit of a tangent, but we'll get back onto it and everything here in a few minutes.
It's organic. It happens this way, man.
It does, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it a lot of fun. I remember hearing Sam's voice, and then you hear the score start to build up, and you see the portals open. And T'Challa and Shuri and Okoye walk through. And I said, Wakanda is here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next portal opens and you see the Guardians and Doctor Strange and damn it. Sorry. I was like, the Guardians and the Sorcerer Supreme and the Heir of Stark are here.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps building and building and building and building. And when Strange says to Wong, is that everybody? And Wong's like, what, you want more? And then you see Giant Man and the others. And I was like, summon all of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out and everybody's just lined up and there's just a drop in the whole damn theater. And Cap finally says it after 4 movies.
Those 2 magic words.
Avengers assemble. And the whole damn theater erupts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of them. And my wife and one of my cousins was there with us. And I was like, go kick their ever-loving asses. You are so epically screwed now, Thanos. You are so screwed.
So screwed.
You thought you were coming to a world with no heroes, and here is a whole effing army ready to kick your ass.
He could have very easily said, unleash the Kraken, because that's exactly what happened.
Don't get me freaking started. Don't.
Hell hath no fury, right? Oh man, oh my God, it was great. Yeah, he could have literally just said, unleash the Kraken, because that's what they did. They opened up the biggest can of whoop ass there was. It was fantastic. The only thing that would have made that scene any better is if you'd have seen an X-Wing come flying in.
There's actually been people that have done edits where just random characters from other movies start appearing through portals. I mean, you get like Rocky, you get like you get characters from like Star Wars, you get like Boba Fett and the Mandalorians and all like this. And like, oh, dude, it's hysterical. They even got characters from like DC that do it, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of stretching it, but okay.
It's still fun. Whatever.
But you know what? One of my all-time favorite culminations of a movie is when they're like, we'll have to cross the streams.
Mm-hmm.
Cross the streams. You said that was bad. He's like, remember, we're paying our one client a danger. The one lady who pays in advance before she turned into a dog.
What he says, the next time someone asks you for a god,
you say yes.
You say yes. Anyway.
Oh, dude. And I'll bring up MJ1. You know what? I'm so past the Brie Larson hate. I don't care. You know what? I'm just going to say this, and it may trigger some people. You know what? Brie Larson is not half bad looking, and you know what? She got a damn Oscar.
I don't care.
I know, and I get that, but you know what?
Wait a minute. Let me explain why I say that, and this may trigger some people, and I hope not to. And I'm not the type of person who wants to make anyone mad. I like to just be honest and open. I don't like her as an actress. I haven't seen anything with her in it that I like.
Okay,
nothing.
That's fair.
You know, and unfortunately, there's going to be some people that are going to get on this me on this also, but. I'm not a big fan of Jane Foster's either. She's only been in 2 movies I've liked.
Okay.
That's just, that's
you're
just
not
me.
Gonna
I'm sorry.
Dude, you're not going to get any pushback from me on that. You have a differing opinion. That's cool. I have no problem with that. Tim, shut up, MJ.
I like you, MJ1. MJ1 in the chat says, "Did she buy the Oscar?"
Oh.
I don't know. I don't really care. I just said that to be a little tongue in cheek. I mean, you know what? You got a differing opinion. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, I don't say it as if I'm just indifferent, or I don't care if you have a different opinion, but I'm not going to scream you down. I'm not going to holler you down. I'm not like some other channels out there that if you have a different opinion, you get booted, you get bounced, you get yeeted off a stream. I don't do that. Tim will tell you, and
we're getting ready to do a stream here in a couple of weeks where we're going to try to get a couple people on who are pro sequels, and a couple people who are anti sequels.
Me. I'll be anti. I'm very anti. I'm very anti sequels.
And have an open discussion so we can show that it's possible for people on both sides to talk and get along and not scream and be toxic with each other.
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or you don't like it, it doesn't matter to me. It's an opinion. It's a flipping movie.
Exactly.
Get over yourself.
Yeah, we all have different preferences.
Yeah. Well, you heard how passionate I was about Luke. You heard that, right? About Star Wars. But you know what? I didn't care for the sequels. There were things about it I thought were great. There was a lot of things about it I didn't. But I'm not going to get on like Star Wars Santa's channel and tell him he's wrong because he likes it.
Yeah.
God bless him that he does.
Santa.
I'm glad that he does.
Yeah. Hey, I know Star Wars Santa. He and I have worked. I've done a few streams on. It's been a very long time since I've had a chance to check him out and everything. I'm subscribed to him, but I like Star Wars Santa. He's good people, and he's a star. The thing I say, whether you came into it in the OT, the PT, or the ST, or you're just hardcore EU, you're still a fan. And as long as you can have a civil conversation with another fan and not just resort to being a hateful, angry, bitter child,
whatever,
then
man-child, exactly.
Yeah, man-child, everything. I will acknowledge you, and I will talk to you, and everything else across the board.
Because I'm one of those people. I want to know why you liked it. That's it.
Yeah,
I want to know why. And you know what? You're not going to convince me to change. I'm not going to convince you to change. So what? Tell me why. I'll tell you why I didn't. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to whatever. That's just the way it is.
I went on Nindroid's channel, and the whole thing was a debate, and it was pretty. It was good though. I played like sometimes like they were all choosing Darth Maul as like one of the coolest characters, and I chose Count Dooku, and we were like, I like Maul better, but I chose the opposite just to spice things up. And then after the conversation, Nindroid had made like a new edit of like some of the sequel films, but me and him went back and forth debating or whatever about the sequel and the Knights of Ren and stuff, how I didn't really like what they did and make them feel like villains of the week. And he said that they had some additional material to read, but I was like, the general going movie audience is not really going to know. Why do you have to read that to fix the bullet in the movie? That it just doesn't make any sense. It should just be that good anyways. So, but we had a civil debate though.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy thing is, Tim, you know this, Alan, you don't. I'm actually working on my own fan fiction that's set within the sequel trilogy era. It's actually an alternate version, or what I kind of based it off of The Rise of Skywalker, where originally the intent, and the intent is still there, is to flesh out Rey's story, give her a bigger story, and ultimately give her an opportunity to pick a name that will really mean something to her. Mm-hmm. And I'm close to the finish line on this one. It's called the Unity. The fan fiction is called The Unity of the Force. I'm going to be doing it as like a radio drama.
Oh, that would be very cool.
Yeah. Cool. I've already got my Kylo Ren. I've already got my Ben Solo if he's willing to do it.
Well,
right down here.
I will tell you that if you need a voice,
awesome.
I'd be willing to.
Oh yeah. I'm Alan. I'm going to be, once I finish it, I'm shooting for to have it finished by September. I'm going to be going around. I've got some friends who have bigger channels than me. I'm going to be reaching out to people in the Star Wars community. I'm going to be casting this, and we're going to record it, and I'm going to edit it together, and I'm going to be releasing it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or if I'm going to do it all as pre-recorded.
Well, all I can say is if you're looking for someone with a nice bass timbre,
I actually have a few characters. Here's the cool thing. I use the characters. I use some of the characters. There's one character I did not include because she just didn't fit in my story, and that was Captain Phasma.
Yeah. But
I actually created my own characters, and some of them are relations to original trilogy characters. Okay. For instance, I've got an officer in the Imperial Remnant who is the granddaughter of Maximilian Veers. Okay. If you remember who that is.
I know the name.
Yeah. He was the general that was in charge of the Grand Assault in Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, yeah.
Fun fact, the actor who played him actually played Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
See, I don't know. See, that's where
the actor.
This type of stuff.
I think the actor's name is Julian Glover. I think is the actor's name. I'm pretty sure that was the actor's name. Okay. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up here in just a minute. But guys, thank you for coming in tonight. I mean, I've had a lot of. It's been a nice stream. I've had a lot of people come in, come out. I had Nick and Lex in here earlier. I had Zach Leary in, and you guys, and we're going to round
up. Having me on.
Hey,
yeah, awesome.
Alan, Tim, Alan, especially you. Anytime I'm live, and I'm actually going to be live again tomorrow night too. What I've been doing with my streams is I pinned the link to the stream up in the chat. So if anybody wants to come in and join the discussion, you can be here. And MJ1, thank you. Yes, Julian Glover was the actor who played Maximilian Veers, or General Maximilian Veers, and Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So thank you, MJ1. Appreciate that.
Not a problem. I'll tell you guys both the same thing. If you're both linked to my Twitter account, which I know Ambassador you are, if you see, because generally I'll post something along the lines of, hey, next Thursday we're going to be covering XYZ. If you see something that sparks your interest, reach out to me. You're more than welcome to come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Press Play Streaming Studios. Look me up. I'm on Twitter. I'm Alan at Press Play. Give me a follow. I'll give you a follow, and definitely love to have you on the channel sometime. Love to have you.
Yeah, cool. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I do want to let everybody know, and you fellows especially, I will be live again tomorrow night, same time, 7 p.m. I'll be continuing my Director Spotlight series, and we're going to be kicking off the month of August. I'm actually be doing 2 Directors Spotlights in August. One because I want to, and one as a request for Bam Ambassador's birthday. Tomorrow night will be a Director Spotlight on the films and career of Ridley Scott. And then later, I tried to pick good ones and everything. I've had a lot of fun doing these Director Spotlights. The last one I did was, I believe, Kevin Smith. And that was a fun one. And then later in August, like I said, towards the end, I'll be doing another Director Spotlight on James Cameron.
Another good one.
Yeah. He is one of Ma'am Ambassador's favorite directors. He's done a lot of her favorite movies, one in particular, and you may groan, but she's my wife and I love her, and I actually enjoy this movie myself. It's Titanic. So
I like that movie too.
I do too. So, but guys, before we close out, tell everybody where they can find you on the internet, and give yourselves a plug, and then we'll wrap up for the night.
I'll go first. My name's Alan. I'm with the Press Play Streaming Studios. You can find us on YouTube under Press Play Streaming Studios. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Alan at PressPlay1. please come by. We generally live stream every Thursday night. I believe this week we're kind of toying with a couple different things, but I'm leaning towards what is the difference between horror and a scary movie, because that's two different things. Could be an interesting conversation.
I like that. That sounds cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. So
I'll give you a real brief example. Jaws is a scary movie.
Yes.
But is it horror? Just something to think about.
Yeah.
All right. Tim?
Yeah, it definitely has themes of that for sure. But when I'm not hanging out with Raylos, you can find me on YouTube at Tim's Talk. You can find me at Kylo_Tim1 on Instagram and Twitter. And yes, it was a great stream as always. Nice to meet you, Alan. I will add you, Master. Always fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, folks, Master.
You are very welcome. And we'll give you a quick drop, being this was your first time on, and we'll give you. This is a good one. This is one of my favorite drops I like to use. So, and then we'll wrap up.
How could you rent the thing anyway without a credit card?
I have a gasoline card.
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile.
I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday.
I love that drop. I do. I love that. I love that drop. That's from the Reface app, because I've done. All right. Alan, you have a good one, man.
You too, buddy. I appreciate you. I'm going to go spend some time with the wife.
Same here. So, yeah. All right. Well, folks, you all have a great night wherever you're at. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for another Director's Spotlight. And of course, like I said, that will be on the one and only Mr. Ridley Scott. But you'll have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. And until next time, these are the ambassadors signing off.